Hello, 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 and welcome to the first live stream that I have done in a long time now. Welcome back, everyone. It has been a long time since I've been on YouTube, but I'm glad to be here. For those of you who don't know, I was away on a deployment. When I'm not doing, simple rockets, correction, Juno New Origins, with the recent name change. When I'm not playing around on this game, I'm actually moonlighting as a submarine officer, and I have spent the past year underwater, and so I have not done hardly anything with this game. I know there have been a ton of pretty crazy updates. I've not seen most of it, and I'm very excited to get back into it. And I figured the best way to do that would be to start off a live stream playing the new campaign mode. Well, it's new to me. It's not new to the rest of you. I know everyone else has been playing this for a while, but I only got a little taste of this earlier this year before I left. So, without further ado, let's kick this off. Now, I'm not going to be reading through all of the text and dialogue. If you want to read through the text or do the tutorials, you should just buy the game and play it yourself. I know how to play this game. I'm familiar with how campaign mode works or career mode. So I'm just going to skip all the tutorials. First thing we're going to do is go to the tech tree, which is what the tutorial would tell us to do. We're going to unlock the first two free tech nodes, which gives us just some basic parts. We can use a Jundroo. We give a crew limit. We get the label and the camera part, nothing crazy. And then we'll start off with the backyard scientist tech tree, which gives us our first rockets, the ability to use a command disk gyro, very basic controls over a rocket. Excalibur, how are you doing today? Did I kill any Russian fish? No, I didn't kill any Russian fish, knowingly at least. I did see a lot of fish this year. Saw a lot of fish on sonar, and we probably ran into a couple, and maybe they died, so maybe we killed some fish. All right, well, we've got one contract available to us, the vertical shot. We'll go ahead and accept it, and this is not a hard contract. Basically, we're going to launch a rocket up and then back down, and that will satisfy the contract. This rocket's going to be pretty simple and pretty small. Radius, we'll do 10 centimeter radius. No, we'll do smaller. 5 centimeters, so a 10 centimeter diameter rocket. This will basically look like a model rocket or an amateur rocket. We'll make it 2.5 meters in diameter. Actually, we'll probably want it to be a little wider because I realize this has got to go up pretty tall. Game night, welcome. Just want to drop a quick welcome back. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. Thanks for dropping by. Glad to have you here, even if it's just for a little bit. How am I doing? I'm doing well. Excalibur, thank you. I'm glad you're doing well. Let's see. Volume for battery, we need very little battery. Probably like 5. Yeah, 5% for both. That's probably fine. Just enough battery, just enough gyro to control. Actually, no. No gyros, very little battery. We don't need to control this. We're going up. We're coming back down. We don't need a complicated rocket here. We'll make it 3 meters long. Slap a motor on it. And fins. Right there. Let's grab the fin, do a little mumbo jumbo with it. The fins don't need to be very big. In fact, I don't want them to be very big because I don't want extra drag. We'll give it 3 fins. Maybe a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, that gives us 1.5 kilometers per second delta V, 3.18 thrust to weight ratio. How high do I need to get? 25 kilometers? Yeah. This will get us there. And if it doesn't, shoot, then I'm screwed. Another thing that I want to do with this live stream, or this series of live streams, the entire mode, and I'm not going to be able to do it all in one night, so this whoa, okay, sweet. I don't know why it just like, did it crash? I'm not going to touch it. If it crashed, I'm cutting out. Okay, all right. Gee whiz, that was rough. It wasn't the connection. The game just like really slowed down. I think it was just loading it for the first time. I hope I don't miss anything important. Yeah. No, yeah, that was definitely on my end. I think we're good to go though. Yeah, looks like everything's back. All right. Not gonna wait around or anything. Let's just launch this bad boy. This should not take very long at all. I'm gonna time warp just for fun. And 17, 18, 19, 20, 25. We just need to get 500 meters away. We're basically there already. Yeah, this rocket had plenty of juice in it. Pedro's microwave killed the live stream. Yeah, Pedro, I'm sorry, but you're not going to be able to run your microwave or we will crash the stream. All right, and we're coming back down. I'm going to leave this on 5x time acceleration. This is not a revolutionary mission we're running here. We're just dropping a rocket. One thing you might notice as we get closer to the ground here, and I think probably part of what caused the lag, because I'm seeing it a little bit now. Oof. As we get close to the ground, I'm running parallax, and it runs okay. Like, I'm getting, what am I getting frames per second? I'm getting to 60 frames per second right now, pretty smooth. But that's probably adding a little bit to that initial load in. If it continues to be an issue, I'll like disable it. But maybe that's what caused it. I don't know. All right, we finished our first mission. Flight termination station. Easy enough. We're going to use the same rocket. We're not going to change a thing about it. We need to get to 30 kilometers. We already got to like 45, so this rocket is more than enough. It's just the audio now. Come on. Oh, come on. All right. Well, hopefully that comes back. That might be a connection issue now, because on my end, everything is running smoothly. Parallax absolutely makes loading screens longer. That's been very obvious since its release. Okay, that's fine. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. We're adding a bunch of ground scatter to the game, so it's going to make loading longer. That's still not too bad for loading time. Like, right there, that wasn't too slow. Compared to, like, Kerbal Space Program, that's still pretty fast. All right, for this flight termination system contract, we have to fly up above 30 kilometers, and then I need to hit this button. Not a hard contract, once again. So we'll launch, and we're up. As soon as we get above 30 kilometers. Okay, skip the tutorial. No, thank you. Boom. End flight. Save and exit. And we're done. We blew up another craft. No problem whatsoever. Let's see. Next one. Going sideways. Crash at least 30 kilometers away from the village. That's easy enough. We're going to make a slight modification to our rocket to make it work. We're going to give it just a little bit more fuel. We'll do 3.25 meters in length. And the fins, I'm going to have a control surface on them. Oh, I don't have control surfaces unlocked. Never mind. We'll use the gyroscope then. So I'm going to give this 5% gyro, 5% battery, a little bit extra fuel. We'll bring this out to 3.5 actually. This 1.55. That should do it. So it's a slightly more expensive rocket, very slightly upgraded, but that little boost should be enough to get us flying on a ballistic trajectory. And lag slowing me down. Oh boy. Yeah, parallax definitely. I'm feeling the. I'm feeling the extra FX. I might have to turn my graphics a little bit, bring them down a little bit. Once it's in, it's fine. 60 frames, good to go. But that load time does get a little heavier. But it looks so nice. Look at those little trees. Those happy little trees up there. All right. 30 kilometers away. I'm just going to pitch it over. We'll do 70-degree launch angle. Throttle up. It's a solid rocket, so not too complicated. The gyros will put it on that initial course. Let's actually bring it up a little bit. I don't want to pitch over too hard, too fast. That should be plenty. All right, so we're past 30 kilometers. Yeah, we got plenty. We have plenty. We'll just let that go. We are traveling way out there. You can just see right where the rocket is now. That's where we launched from, right there. And we are screaming out past it. It gives you a good view of the mountain range that we're in. Looks like we're going to land outside of the mountain range in lowlands here. Pretty cool. And we got another 20 tech points for flying 100 kilometers. Nice. Good. Oh. 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 Parallax is chugging along again. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the struggle. Come on. You're okay. You're okay. It's just grass. It can't hurt you that much. Alright, we may have to disable parallax for future streams because this is... it's feeling it now. And... we're down. I could probably downgrade like shadows and stuff. Let's try that. Alright. I'm going to fuck around with the settings a little bit. Quality. If I just go high, I had some ultra settings on, but if we just downgrade it to high, then maybe it'll bring it down a little bit. Game night, what I tried when I was testing Career was offsetting the motor itself just a small bit, but it got the trick done fairly well. Yeah, that's one way you could do that, is put a little torque on the rocket by offsetting the motor, but the gyros make it easy enough. You don't have to do anything fancy. Okay, so we have 70 tech points up here in our corner. What should we get? I think we go down this way first. So let's do RC Enthusiast. We could do Racer and just do all ground. Terrain. Oh, terrain lot. That might help. Loading distance. Okay, we'll try that as well. I'm gonna bring it down to high anyway, just to pull back a little bit on the strain on my computer anyway. All right, so we've got a couple options. We could do staging. We could do chemistry lover, get an upgraded rocket. I do think I want to go down the flight path first. We're going to do bird, wannabe, and racer. So before we go into space, let's get some ground missions knocked out, I guess you would say. Let's also turn our loading distance. Terrain. We'll call it 5. Just call it 5 flat. All right, contracts available. Going sideways for 100 kilometers. Sure, we can do that. I hate the the fireworks contract, and it's not required, so we're gonna pass on that one, and we'll take the jump. So the jump is the first ground-based contract. Basically, all we're gonna do, down the runway, off the end of the runway is like a ramp. That's it. Off the end of the runway on a ramp. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. All right. We have our rocket. We'll save this for now as career mode amateur rocket, because that's what it is. It's basically just like a buy from a Hobby Lobby amateur rocket. Let's make a new craft. Rotate it on its side. It could be, does not need to be very big. We'll call it that big, that long. I also like to make the bottom square. So we'll take corner 1 and corner 2, make the bottom square. It could be smooth. So that's going to be our body for our little car. Let's add our wheels. Put it at 90 degrees right there. And adjust the settings. So it does not need to be that big. We can make it smaller. Give it a turning angle. Not that much of a turning angle. We'll call 15. 15 is good. And put it on the bottom of the car like that. Perfect. Mirror it. Add another one. We'll get rid of the turning angle on the back wheels. Let's give these all more torque. Move those down so that they're on the same level. And for good measure, a camera. I like the camera part. Throw one of those on there. They're relatively cheap. Just tuck it in like that. That looks good. All right, everyone's saying confirmed reducing the LOD does cause the game to run better. Too high and it will crash. That's good to know. Let's see, the price for this. That's actually too expensive. Let's just make these cheaper. 7,000. And the problem with this mission, the jump, is that we lose all of our, like, it's going to go off the ramp. It's going to crash after this. I don't have any anticipation of keeping this Rover. And I think the contract only pays $5,000. So this Rover costs $4,400 something. The cost to launch it is $71 off of the pad. I'm launching. Ooh, I launched it on the launch pad. Is that going to be an issue? That might be an issue. We'll find out here in a minute, won't we? Can I suggest rocket propulsion over just the wheels? We'll use rocket propulsion later for sure. But not for this contract, not yet. All right. Let's go up to the top of the ramp here. Okay. And in case you're wondering, I do have a mod on that actually gives like camera effects to the camera part. So if you're thinking that this camera part looks weird, it's because there is a mod. You can download it on the Juno New Origins website. All right, here we go. We are going down the runway. 22, 23 meters per second. Maybe one more. 24, good. 25. I think we're going to cap out at 25. Yeah, 24. And then we need to get 150 meters. Nailed it. And yeah, it broke on the way down. That's fine. End flight, recover. Yeah, totally destroyed. That's fine. We knew that would happen. So we did make our money back. And that's, I wasn't trying to make a whole lot of money there. What I was really trying to do is unlock the next contract here, like a bird. So this is the one. Gamer Night, you recommended we try to use rockets. This is the one where we're going to use a rocket. So let's first go back to a circular vehicle. I'm going to make this short. we're going to add a big fuel tank here. I'm going to move the wheels inside the vehicle. Also going to make these front wheels smaller, and we're going to make the turning angle a lot smaller. Okay. These could also probably be smaller too. Tuck them up. Apparently the grid's not letting me snap these to the same height, so I'm just going to adjust that real quick. I don't like using the non-grid changes. I feel like it makes the rocket a little bit... I don't know, I feel like it just messes up the geometry of things, but I will use it on occasion just to get things exactly where I want them. I don't need as much of a battery because this is going to be all rocket powered. We'll slap our rocket motor on there, and then I need wings. And I don't need that much wing, for sure. We can make these pretty small. We will want a control surface. I don't need a whole lot of control surface here, but I do want enough to just barely control my roll. And we'll mirror that, and then add, I think we're going to do a V-style aft control surfaces, and I'm only going to do that because it makes it easier, or like lower part count. I also don't need them to be as thick. We can make them both thinner. And then these should be pitch. Okay, what are the odds that this flies on the first try? It's a $5,000 craft. Let's take a look at our distribution here. Nope, that's not going to work at all. Let's scoot this back. All right, there we go. So now we've got our center of lift, the blue circle here, the blue ball needs to be behind our center of mass, which is the red ball. That. Oh, hold on. So we got a second. I think there was some issues with the website that they're currently trying to resolve. I don't have any official knowledge of it. I'm not the guy to talk to about it. Oh boy. Why is this uncontrollable? Why is this uncontrollable? Please explain why this is uncontrollable. Okay, we're back. Oh boy. Should we just launch? Okay. Disregard. We're going to redesign this. I think we need to push the wheels out a little bit. Excalibur's got to go. Well, it was nice to have you here tonight, Excalibur. Thank you for coming. And I hope you have a good night tonight. Alright, I don't know why these are being weird. So we're going to put them back the way I had before. On the outside of the vehicle. And... oh, hold on. I don't want to squat my tires. To be clear, I'm not trying to squat the tire. They're not supposed to do that. There we go. Okay, they're kind of hovering, but that's fine. I honestly don't care if they're floating a little bit. This is not like, not designing this to be fancy. I'm designing this to work. All right, looks like the stream is fighting to keep up. That's fine. Because we're loaded back in now. All right. Let's see if this rolls straight now. All right, that works a little better. I think it was just because the wheels in the front were pressed together. Let's light our engine. Now I'm going to try and pitch up. And that's it. That's all we had to do. We do have a little bit of roll control, and we have pitch control. I could try landing this thing. We would need to fly it back. I have no idea if this is going to be controllable to the point where I could land it. I mean, it's actually flying a lot longer than I thought it would. Because the rocket, at the very end, the rocket stops burning its fuel as quickly as it does at the beginning. So it burns a lot of fuel early, and then it ramps it down as it goes. But it looks like we are out of fuel. We're now just gliding. I might be able to land this thing. We could possibly land this here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop. Hold on. Oh, I'm too high. That's fine. That's fine. I wasn't expecting to keep it, so it's kind of cool that it flew for as long. I'll take it. We got 110 tech points. That was absolutely worth it. Fast roller, we can do that right now with the rocket the rocket we launched earlier. Like this is more than enough. I think we hit like 50 meters on the rocket plane. And Jacob Daniel, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing, dude? It's been a while. All right. Grounded for more than 10 seconds. Met. 13.9 meters per second. Met. And brake. End flight. Recover. Get the price back. Easy. Next career mode mission. Taxi driver. Watch all the checklists. All right, this one's easy enough. We'll go back here. I'm going to take the nose cone, the fins off this, and we're just going to make this into a car again. This can go. This can go. This can stay, but we'll shorten it. I don't need you to be long. That can go, and this can be not solid rocket propellant anymore. Cool. Let's make these a little bigger. 35. 35, and I want to give this a better turning angle. We'll go back to 25-degree turning angle. Should be plenty. Let's also move these back out. Out one, and then up two. Good. And good. I think that's plenty. We can maybe make this not quite as long. Would be the only other thing I'd want to change. Tuck that in. Tuck that in. Call that. We'll call that good. I think that'll be plenty. And launch. Didn't realize you were streaming today. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to either. It's been very busy for me the past couple of weeks. We traveled with family for the was back to work for quite a few days, was really busy. But it's starting to slow down a little bit. I've had a couple of days off, so I figured tonight would be a good night to stream. All right, let us continue on. So we need to go to the following checkpoints. The first one is the maintenance hangar. Whoa, 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 okay. Without crashing too hard, we need to go to the maintenance hangar. All right. Next one is upper patio. This one actually bothers me a little bit. I've done this before, and you kind of have to reverse out of there, but I should be able to get out of there if I'm just very careful. Brake. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have assigned my torque for the wheels to the pitch key, W and S, instead of the throttle, because then I could use the reverse, and I don't have the ability to reverse with this Rover right now, so I have to drive very careful. Careful circle. Okay, we hit the wall. That's fine. That's fine. We made it through. We made it through. All right, 8 meters per second is pretty good speed across the ground. We'll try and maintain that speed. We're looking for the ramp down to the lower part of the village. Here it is. Come right here. Down this way. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Get it back under control. That was close. That could have been worse. We almost lost it there for a second. That would have been a big bummer. Oh, shoot. Oh, that's an alley, isn't it? There's no way out of there, is there? Dang it. All right, so we're stuck in this alley, of which I don't think there's a way out of. All right, recover the craft. That was dumb. I shouldn't have let that happen. I could have easily prevented that. Aside from running headlong into that wall on accident, we're going to make a couple of changes. One, input, I want this to be pitch. Pitch. No, this needs to stay yaw. Turn. And this says zero torque. Okay, so this is our torque. And do I want a high gear ratio? We'll do like a medium gear ratio, 3. Okay. That, I think, will do it for us. We also use the smooth tires, which might give us a little bit better performance. Oh, what's the issue? May need more battery to operate. Does it not have enough battery? We can give it... There. Give it all the battery it needs. That should be plenty of battery now. If it needs more battery, then we're doing something wrong. Give it a second to load. I'm not going to touch it. I've learned my lesson. Don't touch it while it's loading. Just give it a time. And it's in. See? It's much more responsive. Okay. So now I have it keyed to W and S. I also tweaked the gear ratio a little bit, so the top speed's a little lower at 11 meters per second. So it's slower than it was before, but we don't need that really high top speed where we're, screaming around the corners of the village. We want more torque. We want that start and stop power, and I think this will do us a lot better. We still have to contend with rolling over like an idiot, but so far I've managed to recover from each of those. Whoop, too far. Come back. There we go. And it's much easier to back out of there now because I can just hit the back button. Alright. Whoop. Dodge through there. Dodge through there. Down the ramp. We'll gun it going down. Tap the brakes. Gun it down the second ramp. Not going to fall for what I did earlier. I'm going to not go there. I think I can go this way. Yes. This way. Here we go. Down this way. We are screaming through this town. Okay, here we go. Turn here. Go this way, and I don't think I can fit through those pylons. I'm not going to try. I know that there is a way to get out from here. And then from here, just around the corner. Whoa! Lost control for a second. But we're all right. Done. Easy money. And we get to recover the craft at the end, so we get all of our money back. $7,000 for the car itself, $4,000 for the contract. Not bad. We have a lot of tech points to work with here. 120. So we could do the off-roader. But what I want to do is fidget spinners, because that gives me propellers. I'm also going to do novice managers, which gives me more contracts. And we'll do static electricity, which gives me the battery. And it lets me use 100% of the command disk volume. So we get more out of that. Now, novice managers, we have more contracts available to us. We'll do the village race. That's easy. Shockingly fast we could do. Endurance trips easy enough. We'll do that as we drive around. Juno Peak we'll do as well. I think we could do all of these in one go. One mission, 3 contracts, more money. More money is always better. So what we're going to do to make this guy ready to go is I'm going to go with the racing wheels, which is more expensive, but I get a lot more torque. I'm also going to crank the gear ratio up on both of these. So high torque, high gear ratio. These are now 15,000 a piece for 30,000 total for the wheels. So that's pretty expensive. We could bring the cost down a little bit if I wanted less torque. 40 might be enough to go up the mountain. That's the thing that, you know, might be pushing it, is going up the mountain. Also, while I'm at it, let's add a nose cone to the back. Make this guy symmetrical. Or not symmetrical, but like rounded out a little bit. There we go. So it's got an end cap now. That's kind of nice looking. While we're on it, there. He's got like a rounded end. Could probably round the nose off as well too. And we'll move the camera forward because I noticed he was clipping through the like very front. There's like lines right here. So with that out of the way, he should be good to go. Ooh. Oh, all right. Still got it under control. 10 meters per second is plenty. This is like almost uncontrollable. I'm having trouble keeping this under control. Yikes. Okay, we might actually have to dial the torque back on this quite a bit because this is a lot of force. 5 meters per second we can manage. We have 6 minutes to do this race, so, you know, that's pretty slow. I think there's higher tiers to this mission, and as you go, they reduce the time to make it higher, like more challenging. So the first time you do this, there's no time limit, and then the second time, 6 minutes, and then it goes down and down and down until you're like really sprinting to finish it. Or at least that's the idea. Turn here. No. No. Ah. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. That was close on a couple occasions. Come on, turn. Turn for me. There we go. We're at 1 minute 43 seconds, and we're almost done anyway. This is like plenty of time. And then we'll immediately go into the next mission, which is Juno Peak. And then endurance trip, we need to drive a total of 5 kilometers. We've already driven 1 just in running through the village race. Oh, do not flip me over. Do not. Are you serious? Are you freaking serious? Oh, we recovered it. We recovered it. A little spin move later, and we're back on our wheels. All right. Can I... Hold on. Can I turn the torque down on these or limit them somewhere else? No. Okay. That'll probably be a problem if I can't change the torque. All right. Juno Peak. Do I have wheel damage or something? I'm like not able to turn properly. All right, hold on. This is too much. I'm genuinely struggling to control this thing. End flight, recover craft, recover craft. we gotta pull that in a little bit. That is a lot of torque. I do not need to go that fast at all. That is way too much. We're gonna go back to the retro wheels. That's just too much. I didn't need this much torque. We are gonna keep them pretty high. I wonder which one's gonna give us better traction. Street. We'll go with the smooth ones. And 36.4. I think it's Newton meters is the measurement for torque. That should be plenty. Let's try it. Now, I think the trip recent progress, we ended that quest. Contracts will back again and drive around more, but that's not hard. We can like drive up and down the runway twice and get the progress for that. Yeah, okay, so we did lose progress. I'm just going to drive up and down the runway. So that's the easiest way to get this back. We're also way slower now than we were before. And we'll time accelerate up. All right, now we're trying to actually go to Juno Peak up here. Almost there, almost there. There we go. Back up to the top of the runway. How does this thing handle hills? Okay, well, maybe let's start by putting it in chase view. Why are we struggling so much just to turn? Okay. End flight. We're gonna try this again. I don't know why I'm struggling to make this thing work. It's like the simplest thing ever. 4 wheels and a tube. Tube car. I'm not designing a Bugatti here. This is like this baby's first 4-wheel vehicle. I guess. What if we go with the street wheels? highest torque setting or highest gear ratio setting. And we do 40 and 40. Maybe. The other thing I could do is, for some reason, turning angle wasn't enough, but I can, if I invert the turning angle on my rear wheels, and I can actually, we'll actually add activation group. So on activation group 1, I'll have counter turning on my rear wheels so I can get sharper turns. If that was the issue I was having. Also, max out sideways traction, see if that was playing a part. And honestly, like, it seemed to be that torque was our issue, so let's push the torque up. Let's push the torque up. Seems the logical answer, but I don't want it to be so uncontrollable like the last one. That's my fear. All right, here we go. Here we go. So it's still got a lot of punch. Yeah, you're probably right. So I think I'm using the street tires now. Yeah, these tires should do better for the off-roading than the slicked tires. Which, okay, that, yeah, in hindsight, slick tires probably not what you want to be using for off-roading. That seems a little bit more obvious now that I think about it. Okay, we're gonna use chase view because I want to be able to like see around the car, not just the camera view. And let's climb. Actually, hold on. Before I go, I realize my field of view is still turned down pretty small. There we go. That's a better third-person camera. Much better. And now I just need to get up here. Yeah, and these tires are having absolutely no issue. No, oh, okay. Almost absolutely no issue getting me up this hill, with the exception of that one little hiccup. I just need to remember to take it slow, because if I go a little too fast here, I could absolutely lose control. And avoid running into any of the trees here. We'll drive past them, but I'm pretty sure the trees actually are collidable objects, so I want to be careful around them. Alright, and we are pretty much homeward bound at this point. And almost done. Perfect. Now we have 2 kilometers down for our endurance trip. I'm just going to coast down the mountain here. And also do a little bit of braking input to keep from losing control. We'll go back down to the airfield. And then as soon as we're back on the runway, I'm just going to go like laps on the runway like I was doing before, but with a car that can actually go fast. So it won't take too long at all. No! Oh, no! No! Dang it. I broke it. That's fine. That's fine. We have enough money. We did take a little bit of a loss there, I think. Ah. That sucks. Yeah, rest in peace, little car. Dang it. Short route. Sure, we could do that one. I'm gonna do learning to fly first. We'll save this car and we can, we can modify it later as needed. Probably needs just less torque. Career mode racing buggy, we'll call it. Career mode, racing buggy, done. Now we need to make an airplane. And I bought the parts. Yep, I have the prop parts. So we can make an airplane with the equipment we have. And we have landing gear too. Yeah, proper landing gear. So let's start from scratch. I'm going to make a new craft. Airplane. I need a decent amount of this to be just battery. Actually, 100%. Let's make the command disk 100% battery. We could make like a little RC plane. It's like very small. Probably want something a little bit bigger. But let's see if I can get away with a very like miniaturized plane first. How small can I make this propeller? That's as small as I can make it. All right. So we'll scale the plane to the propeller size here. I also want to increase blade count. We'll do a 3-bladed propeller. I do not need it to be that big. 128 kilograms, that's huge. We'll do... Yeah, there we go. Actually, hold on. All right, hear me out. Let me cook here for a second. I'm gonna fiddle around with this. And bring this up as well. Like that. I actually don't want this to be as small now. We'll scale this up a little bit. We're going to make a biplane. I've decided that's what we're doing. Sorry, I was a little quiet there because I was just thinking about what I wanted to do. But I have decided on what I want to do. We're going to make a little miniature biplane. Or do we want to just make a full-size plane? I feel like... Alright, we'll make a full-size plane because this just kind of looks ridiculous. The more I think about it, the more I think it looks ridiculous. Alright. Yep. 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 Good. Longer. Good. And then forward more. More like that. Sure, we'll go with that for now. Size, make this big. That's actually as big as I can get it? That seems small for a propeller now. Maybe we'll scale this down just slightly. One click in. Sure, let's do that for now. Okay. That's better at least. Now let's add the wings. We're going to do just rectangular shaped wings. The roll control surface will be on the top outer edge of this wing here. And it needs to be pretty big. Biplane wings are pretty big. Now these will go vertically and I will match them like that. Boom. And I'm I'm putting this Jundroo here for scale because I want this to be like not perfect, but I want this to be reasonably to scale. All right, second wing. Now the second wing is actually going to be a good bit shorter. And no control surface. So we'll remove this guy. Don't want you. And we'll mount the second wing slightly lower on the fuselage, but it'll be on the fuselage, not under. Right about there we'll do. All right, now we need struts to connect them. So I'm going to use the structural part here. One, not quite as thin. One, about that. One more in on this side. There we go. That's perfect. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. Let's put that in there. I realize I accidentally disconnected this, so let's reconnect it. I'm going to mirror these, and then what needs to happen is this is going to be the tricky part, because you can't connect anything to the wings, but I need to connect something to the wings themselves. There's going to be basically brackets that go from the bottom of the wing. They'll go from basically this corner down to the middle of the bottom wing, and then from the middle of the bottom wing out to the top of the outer wing. And I'm just going to do this by eye. All right, so first let's get this lined up in the right spot. Put it right there. Not poking through. Perfect. In one click. That works. All right, perfect. Copy this. I'm going to attach this to the next strut here, like that. So it's connected. It is connected here now, and then I can pull it in like so. And then just stretch it out. Oh, we're so close. Okay. What I might have to do is use the 0 grid and just very, very carefully adjust that in. That might have to do. And then what I could do, if I put that there and then rotate this down. Yes. That's perfect. All right. Do the same, grab this and do the same thing for this guy. Grab it here. And then grab this guy and adjust him back. But now I don't like how this goes here. I need to adjust this now. Okay. And like that. Does that meet it? Does that meet the intent of what I'm trying to do here? I think it does. Mirror that. I think that looks all right. We'll pretty it up. Let's get a working flying model first, and then I'm going to pretty this up. But I think that's going to do us just fine. one thing we can do to make this look a little better, I'm going to go ahead and use the seamless edge on all of this. Okay, now let's look at the landing gear. Does not need to be that long at all. Gear length, weigh in. Vertical offset angle, I think is what it's called. Yeah, bring that out. And then just pull this in. We'll mirror this part. So we got two wheels up in the front. And then what I can do, let's shrink down this back here. Nope, wrong button. There we go. Bobcat FPV, you're back. Yes, I am back. Welcome to the live stream. It's good to see you today. I hope you are doing well and you had a happy holidays. How are all of your guys' holidays? Leave a comment below or leave it in chat. You guys do anything interesting, exciting? Spend time with family? What'd you do for the New Year's? I'm excited to hear what everyone else has been up to. For me personally, we did a lot of travel. So my wife's side of the family lives in Oregon. And so we flew out to Oregon and visited with them for Christmas. And then we flew to North Carolina, which is where I grew up, and spent the New Year's with my side of the family. So we were on the West Coast one week, and then we flew all the way to the East Coast the next week, all to spend time with family. So I traveled a lot. We were on planes for a lot of the holidays, but it was good to see all my family and catch up with people that I hadn't seen in a while. So it was really good. I hope everyone else had at least decent times. I know for some people the holidays can be difficult and even stressful. So if you had a stressful or difficult holidays, I'm sorry to hear that. But for the rest of you, I hope you all enjoyed your time. Okay. This is pretty good with a couple of major exceptions. One, my wings are mounted too far forward, and they need to be pushed back. But that's easy enough to fix. That's not a problem. I can do that right now just by pulling these back. And then I will have to pull these back as well. Start with the rear ones. I don't want to pull them too far back because the second thing I'm going to have to do is adjust the front as well. Oh, I also just realized, okay, you know what, I realize I don't like this anymore. That's just good. That's how that's going to have to be. I'll tell you why I decided that needs to change, because those aren't lining up. I don't know if you saw that. They weren't lined up, and it was giving me a form of brain cancer just looking at it. I was becoming violently sick just looking at how out of a line those were. Okay. I think just one set of struts will be enough. I mean, they're entirely aesthetic anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but I do want it to look nice. How does that do? Also, make this outer wing one click longer. I think we have to push these even farther back. Either that or, you know what we could do? And what actually probably what we should have done? I realize now, with the way this is set up, the battery was mounted too far back. There we go. So our center of lift is now behind our center of mass, finally. We got landing gear and landing gear. I'm going to change the position of this guy a little bit. We're going to move him forward, and then I want to rotate him. Or can I do forward offset? Yeah. There we go. There we go. All right. I think this guy will be functional now. I don't know what his performance is going to be necessarily, but it should be enough. We can bring his torque up. Go ahead and just max out his torque on the engine. I know we're going to need a decent amount of force to get it going, so why bother with less when we can just go straight for more? I also didn't really mean to waste all that time messing around with the aesthetics, but now that we're here, let's think about how we want to paint this thing. First things first, all the wheels, all the control surfaces will be gray. That's not good. We want this to mirror. There we go. Cool. Let's see. What else can we do to make this look good? I don't love the color white, so we could probably make it a little bit better colored. We also probably change the fuselage shape a little bit. Actually, no. We'll leave the fuselage shape as is for now. I do kind of want to see how this guy would look sitting in here. Like, if I seat him, will this make sense? Yeah, he would fit. Okay. He can go away for now. Let's see. What other things we can do? We can add a little windscreen. That might be good. I think a windscreen is probably our next thing to do. So the way I'm going to do that is we'll add a fuel tank. Shrink it down a lot. Isar Basra, welcome to the live stream. Hello. It is good to see you. Yes, thank you. I am back. Been away for a while, but I'm glad to be, back enjoying doing the things that I wanted to do, all right, let's see. Do that. Okay, so we've got like a little screen there. Now I'm going to add a nose cone piece. We'll make it much smaller. And then we'll make these textureless. And then add the glass texture there. Actually, that one's a little bit better. The difference in volume between your stream and the ads is so crazy. I just got jump scared so hard. I assume, did an ad just run or something? Yeah, YouTube's changed how they run ads, so you can kind of adjust the frequency. I didn't really fiddle with the frequency settings too much. If there's too many ads, if you'd like me to turn them back, I can definitely do that. Make them fewer and farther between. I don't know. I didn't really fine tune the settings, and it's been a while since I've live streamed. So if I need to adjust any of my settings for everyone else's benefit, please let me know. Okay, as far as planes go, this is pretty ugly. Oh, it's just way too loud. Oh, gotcha. Is the stream quiet? Do I need to increase the volume of the screen? Again, I am here to relearn how to do live streaming. Yeah, but mine probably is a little too quiet. I can bump up everything here in a minute. Let's go to my audio properties. Let's see. Make that 2. Make this 8. How's that? Is that better? Am I a little louder now? Also, probably just move my mic closer. All right. We have our little biplane. I actually like this doesn't look terrible now. And it looks as though it's making a decent amount of thrust. Oh, okay. And it's got plenty of lift. This flies really well. I need to increase my my rudder, or not my rudders here, my ailerons. I don't love how responsive the roll is. That's pretty sluggish for a roll, but pitch is good. Plenty of pitch control, that's fine. Oh, yeah, absolutely flyable, and we're actually getting pretty good speed here. 90 meters per second is pretty good for speed. And how are we doing on battery life? 98%. It's not terrible on battery life either. That's not bad. I was anticipating running into maybe some more issues with this, but this actually seems to be going pretty smoothly. One other thing, I want to throw a camera on this guy. Where the cockpit will be. And then we'll unlock the ability to add Jundroo pilots later. And then when we do that, we can get rid of the camera and actually just have the Jundroo sitting, and we can have first-person view from him. Alright. Let's bring up my nav ball. And then actually, I just realized we have the other going sideways contract. If I just touch down on the runway, complete this contract, and then turn around, and then we go land 100 kilometers away, we'll complete both these contracts. And we get... There's a good chance we'll get extra tech points as well for the going sideways contract, because one of the ways to get tech points is milestones. And distance flown is a milestone that I know we can, like, get some progress on. Okay. If we go through this, now, accelerate. Completed this contract, that's great. All we have to do now is travel 100 kilometers, and I'm going to set the autopilot and time warp, and we'll just go 100 kilometers in no time at all. Alright, try not to crash, try not to crash, try not to crash. Let's slow down. I'm going to lock in. Let's see how the autopilot handles. And if necessary, we can adjust some settings. Maybe a stronger pitch response. Yeah, the autopilot's definitely a little slow on the pitch as well, because that's just such a laggy response. Now that it's steady on course, it's good to go. And that's it. I think we're pretty much good to go as far as that. Now we just got to let it sit and run. The threshold markers are way too close for the end of the runway, in my opinion. Maybe. I wasn't really looking too closely at the runway, and I don't have an aviation background, so I don't know how close they're supposed to be. I'm sure one of you guys knows better. Where am I heading? Literally any direction. I just need to travel 100 kilometers away from the airport and touch down. We're 30 kilometers away, and we're going pretty quick. I could probably go a little faster just by dropping this. Yeah, now we're doing 86, 87, 88, 89, 90 meters per second. Now we're going a little bit faster. This'll cycle through faster. 40 kilometers now. Only 60 more to go. And then we complete this contract. Yeah, I'm not heading anywhere in particular. I can pull up the map view here at the bottom of the screen, and it kind of shows you where I'm going. I can also just go to the map. We can zoom in and look. So we're heading northeast, north by northeast, towards nothing. There's not really anything up there at all. We're just heading. We're just heading. Some things that I'm going to change with this plane. I'm going to add the camera, like I said. Also probably want to move the tail surfaces back a little bit. Or this way on the screen this way. So this guy right here, there we go. He's a little too far forward, and if I push him back a little bit, what that'll do is make the pitch controls a little bit less sensitive. And then I also need to make sure that the aileron's way over here, right there. I'm actually pointing at it. There we go. I'm just going to use my mouse. The ailerons right here are too small, so we need to make those bigger. That's easy. Those are easy fixes. Will not take that much time at all to fix. Other than that, this thing is flying great. Really good performance right out of the gate. Yeah, just going to adjust those couple of things. Maybe make the rudder bigger. That's one thing I can definitely do, is just make my rudder bigger. Because the rudder accounts for a lot of the drag for the control surfaces, and by making that bigger, we'll get a little bit more steady control out of it. $86-87 kilometers. We're going to pitch down. Whoa, okay. Not at 5 times time acceleration, but we're going to pitch down. I'm going to try not to lose control of this plane super early on. And we're going to go down, pick up some speed. Because we're going to get close to the ground here. And as we get close to the ground, we'll get ready for our landing. I just need to pick a spot to land, but it looks like we're flying over a forest. Which this parallax mod's cool, but it is going to make this a little bit more complicated. I don't need to survive. However, I would like to survive, because I would like to keep this plane if possible. Or at least get a refund for the parts. Alright, I see potential landing zones up here. If I give it a little bit more juice, I should be able to put her down in this gap right here. Yeah, I think we can make that work. So I'm going to come low on these trees, and we're going to put it down right after these trees here. Give it a little bit of rudder, a little bit of rudder, a little bit of rudder. Let off on the rudder. Pitch up. Pitch up. Touchdown, 80K. Down the hatch. Now let me turn to avoid the trees. Turn to avoid the trees. Turn. Oh, and we're down. Just enough time. Did not hit the tree there. Beautiful landing. That actually ended up going pretty well. All right, recover the craft. It was only 21,000. Only 21,000. Not too shabby at all. Shockingly fast go Mach 0.1. That's easy. Valley Air Race will do that one as well. Endurance trip, I'm going to save till later. I have completed the Jundroo walking distance milestone. It took 3 to 5 hours. Good on you. That's a lot of walking. No kidding. 3 to 5 hours of just running. One thing I noticed that I don't love, I was messing around earlier, and the Druids seem to take too much damage a little too easily, I would say. It just seemed like they were brittle almost, because I was walking down a hill, and it was like Druid part is taking damage, and it was just like going down a hill. He didn't fall. It wasn't like he jumped off a cliff. He was just walking down the hill, but the steepness of the hill was too much, apparently. We're going to make the pitch of these blades a little bit steeper, 50 degrees instead of 40 degrees. Try and give it a little bit more aggressive bite. And we've already maxed out the size. Walking or running at 15 meters per second. I don't remember what the speed was. He was definitely running. I don't think it was 15 meters per second. It might have been like 7 or 8. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't take damage going as fast as that was, but I don't know. Whatever I was doing, it just felt like he was taking too much damage too easily, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe my concept for speed was a little bit off. I am going to change the color of our blades here. Let's do a red stripe on the blades. Yeah, there we go. And then this I want to be like a flat matte color. And then the red I want to be semi-glossy. That looks good. And then one of these is the hub. There it is. Perfect. In my opinion, the issue is that they tend to be overpowered and people default to running always instead of walking. The sense of scale can be hard to judge in the game. That actually might be the other part of it too. That honestly wouldn't surprise me if that was playing a bigger role than everything else was. All right, here's another thing I wanted to change. No, 0.3. Oh, I can't. Oh, that's right. Shoot, dang. Make this longer then. Okay, that didn't look as good as I thought it would. Okay, disregard. We're going to change this back to the way it was before. Make it wider and then steeper. All right, I'm just trying to I'm trying to mess with this, make this a little bit more aesthetically appealing while I was working on this. Let's take a look at our weight and center of lift distribution. We can still probably pull these back. The other thing we could do is just shorten this bottom wing a little bit because it's giving us extra lift. And then if we push it back a little bit, and then we would just need to push these supports back to reflect that, like there. Funny plane. Yeah, it's a little funny looking. It's all right though. Now I just need to rotate this a little bit more. And then from here, extend that out to the bottom. No, don't touch the wheels. Don't touch the wheels. Leave the wheels alone. The wheels were fine. All right. Is that going to do us? I think that'll do us. I think that looks pretty good. Sure. Why not? We'll call that good. Not a whole lot of change, just kind of tweaking some properties, make it look a little nicer. I think it will be, it would work fine, but I want a little bit more snappy with my rolls and a little less aggressive control. I don't need like a dogfighter. I want something that is a little bit smoother. All right, we'll take up a chase view. Throttle up. And I just got to use my rudder here to keep the torque of that engine. Torque of the engine wants to pull me to the right here pretty hard. There we go. Building up speed nicely. I just realized you're wearing glasses. These are just blue light glasses from like looking at a screen. I get headaches now from looking at screens for too long. And so I wear blue light glasses to help cut them down on it. I actually got these while we were on our deployment. Because my job on the submarine, I'm just like looking at computers all the time, typing up reports and stuff. And, you know, when you're like working for hours and hours on a computer, the strain just really starts to mess with your eyes, and these helped a lot with that. So I don't particularly wear them to be stylish. They actually do help me a lot, and I do recommend them if you have eye strain problems. They cut down a lot on eye strain. All right, we're doing pretty good. We're doing 100 meters per second now, which is a pretty aggressive speed. I feel like the pitch is a little bit too aggressive still, just a little bit, and that probably has to do with the increased size of the elevator. I can shrink that down a little bit, but it's, you know, it's absolutely workable. All right, we're at checkpoint 4 of 17. This one, we're just going to fly through the valley here. I wish I had my actual nice joystick working, because that would make this a lot nicer to like do more gentle roll controls. I'm using keyboard right now, so every time I tap the key, you're getting a really big, hard push on the control surfaces. I can't do fine-tuned adjustments with the keyboard. And it's working fine, but you know, if I wanted a little bit more fine-tuning, it would help to have an actual joystick, an analog input device. Alright, checkpoint 7 is right there. We're going to split the gap between these two cliffs right here and go through the checkpoint. So I'm going to fly out a little bit and then fly in towards the checkpoint. Also probably do just a little bit of pitch trim. Maybe not. It seems like it locks or like snaps to -6% for the pitch trim, which is just a little bit more than I wanted. So it's fine. We'll just use it as is. Into checkpoint 8. Checkpoint 9 coming up ahead. Yeah, this actually... Alright, I was a little skeptical of how it was coming out at first, but I do like the look of this plane now. Maybe a better paint job. Alright, in chat, what should I do for a paint job? Should I do like a... Should I paint it red and do like a red racing paint? Should I try doing like a tan or something, or like a cream? White, the grayish white seems a little off. I don't love how that looks, but something that gives it a little bit more character and color would be good. So, if you have any recommendations for colors for the plane, leave it in chat. And then name. We need to name this plane too. This is like the first. This is the first decent vehicle we've built so far. The other ones were kind of throwaways. Like that buggy, you know, we're not going to name just 4 wheels on a stick. But this plane I actually like. We put a little bit of time and effort into making it look nice. I think one thing I'll change is these supports. I'm going to make them thinner, like significantly thinner. Red and yellow. Okay, we could do red and yellow. Like a red primary, yellow secondary, and then maybe stripes. I don't know if I've unlocked stripes yet. I think that's actually on the tech tree now as an item to be unlocked. Oh, yeah. Alright, I'm definitely not turning parallax off. Now that I've been flying around with the trees, it's absolutely worth keeping parallax on. That makes it so pretty. I love the ground scatter. Checkpoint 11 coming up. Still making good time at 100 meters per second. That's a little ways away. Checkpoint 12. We have 9 minutes left to complete this. pull up a little bit. Does it want me to fly through the valley? I bet it wants me to fly around this cliff and then come into the rest of the valley here. If I had to bet, we're going to fly this way, and then we'll turn, and it's going to be right there at the bottom of the valley, isn't it? Maybe around the other side of this mountain, so you keep it in the valley here. Have I ever tried to use the mouse as the joystick? In other games I have, and I've not liked it. I think Elite Dangerous, which is another game I really enjoy, you can use the mouse as a joystick, and it maps your vertical and horizontal movements to roll and pitch. And I did not find it intuitive. Maybe if I'd practiced with it a little bit more, I would have found it more intuitive, but I don't know, something about it just really messed with me, and I didn't enjoy using it. So I went back to a joystick. I actually have, it's a knockoff PS4 controller. It's not an actual PS4 controller, but it's the same layout as the standard PlayStation controller. Hit H. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, pull up on the mouse, roll. I didn't realize that was hotkeyed too. Mouse's joystick disabled, mouse's joystick enabled. That's interesting. I like the hotkey feature. Yeah, I don't know if I actually like this better. I feel like I'm having to expend more mental energy thinking about it, because if I'm just doing WASD, I've done that enough that I don't have to think about how I want to move the plane. I could just say, like, all right, I want to go this way. All right, pitch over and roll, and then roll back, and I don't have to think consciously about how I'm going to accomplish a move. I can just use the keys. But with this, let me turn it back on. Yeah, with this, I have to, like, it's nice for fine-tuning, for sure. And I see there's a decent dead zone in the middle of the screen I can feel. If I hit Y, it uses horizontal controls. Oh, gotcha. Alright, well, let's see if I can do a landing with mouse's joystick. If I can do a landing with it, then maybe it's not so bad. That's the metric, right? A landing is pretty difficult. It requires some pretty, like specific and demanding hand-eye coordination. Yeah, I'm having trouble even thinking while using mouse and joystick, just because I need to invest more mental energy into controlling the plane now. Okay. Alright, let's slow down. We have 5 minutes to land. The next checkpoint is on the runway. Alright. So far, so good. So far, so good. Actually, okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. Touchdown. Oh, put the wheels back on the runway. Pitch down, pitch down, pitch down, pitch down, pitch down. Brake, 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 brake. Brake, 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 and nailed it. Sort of. I mean, that's pretty much nailed it. That's a good enough landing. All right, not terrible. Not great. I definitely just need an actual joystick Like with an actual joystick, I'll whip through that no problem. But not terrible using the mouse. What's next? We got hit Mach 0.3. I think we can do that with this. Going sideways 500 kilometers. We could do that as well. We could do the Valley Air Race again. I think it's time we invest a little bit more energy into our rocket program. So we've got a decent plane here. We'll paint it. We'll modify it a little bit, make it nice, and then let's save it. We need a name for it, though. So chat, come up with a name for this airplane while I stylize it here. And then we could use the same yellow as the wings. Whoop, nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh, that's interesting. I can paint the ends of the wings. Hold on, let's do all. Just paint them all red. And then from here, that just does the leading edges of the wings. Okay. So we could do that. Run. Welcome to the live stream. It's so good to see you again. You're not 100% late. You're a little late. We are kind of getting towards the end of the live stream, but you haven't missed it. Don't worry. Okay, so the trim 3 is the ends. Trim 4 is the leading edge. Trim 2? What does trim 2 do? Nothing. I don't think trim 2 is assigned to anything for the wing part. But that's okay. They don't all have to do anything. Let's see. I like the shape. Or some other things we could do. Make this a little shallower, I think. I don't love the lines here. It does kind of look like a McDonald's plane. I'll give you that. Actually, maybe what we should do is no color on the bottom wing, no color on the aft. Or actually, color the aft wings. Or reverse it. Reverse it. So do the primary in yellow. And then do the leading edges in red. Like that. That kind of looks good. I like that. I'm not calling it the McDonald plane. As appropriate as it might be. Or maybe I should call it the McDonald plane, honestly, you know. You make a valid argument there. I am going to make these struts thinner. That was one thing I said I wanted to change. I feel like the struts were a little big. So I'm just bringing them in one click on each side. And then honestly, one thing we could do, because there's not a whole lot of detail to the craft, we could add some cosmetic parts. One thing that comes to mind is a like pitot tube kind of structure on the leading edges of these wings here. Here's another thing. So here's what I'll do. I want to take this part. I'm going to get rid of the connection here. Expand it up here. And then I want to reconnect this to the tip like that. Now it's mirrored again. This goes through here. this comes all the way through to the top. And then we have like a little, I don't know what we would call these, just a structural element, or maybe they're instruments. You see these kind of things on other biplanes. If I'm just kind of going off memory, things that I have seen. We'll make rounded edges for them. And then paint them, we'll paint them red. Like that, perfect. All right, I think that's pretty good for a biplane. We need to give it a name. For now, we'll just call it the career mode biplane, but I need a better name. So that's your homework for today, is give me a better name for the career mode biplane. Oh, I just figured out. Oh. I just figured out what the other paint was for. For the bottom. It was for the bottom of the wing. So you can paint the top and the bottom of the wing different. I like that. That's pretty cool. All right, that's not too bad. I like how this looks. Save it. Great. Overwrite. New craft. We need a bigger rocket now. So we had the amateur rocket. It did not have the fuel that's going to be required for some of these newer contracts that we're doing. Just looking at the career mode contracts, we have the endurance trip. Might cancel this contract for now. Evelyn Shotwell. Splashdown contract. We'll get to that one. We're not quite ready for it. We'll do the wet rockets. We'll do going sideways, because those will be two contracts we can do at the same time. They pay out a little bit better, and we need a very specific rocket to accomplish them. So, first things first, we need a much larger rocket. We'll take this out to 5 meters for the initial stage. And our upper stage we'll have at 1 meter. Do we have... Oh, we don't have staging yet. Disregard. So this is going to be single stage. We'll make this 8 meters long. And throw a cap on it. Call it good there. I'm going to do 25% volume for gyros. Better late than never. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Amy Run. Thank you for the donation. I really appreciate you. I hope you're doing well, man. Really is good to see you again, and everyone else as well. It has been too freaking long. But the good news is, with a couple of exceptions, my schedule is going to be a little bit more consistent. And I'll be just on more. Like on significantly more for this kind of stuff. I do enjoy it a lot. I enjoyed, like, something about live streaming. I feel like I can talk through my problem solving process and kind of let you in on just how I'm thinking about problems and coming up with solutions on the spot for them. I find it fun. I think it is very enjoyable, and I hope you guys enjoy it too, because there's something about, like, struggling and figuring out a challenge that is inherently interesting and engaging to me. So if you feel the same, that's awesome. I'm glad you do. And if not, then that's all right too, because if you're just here to listen to me ramble, that is absolutely okay too. I'm here for it either way. All right, we have fins. We'll do 4-way symmetry on these fins. We have a gyro that should be strong enough. We have 3,000 meters per second, 3 kilometers per second at delta V. Should be able to get us there. Oh, if we launch on the right pad, it will get us there. Come on, load. Please load. I enjoy this. Also, where's Tom? Oh, I've got some bad news about Tom. He's well. He is doing well. First off, so don't think he didn't die. He didn't get hit by a car or anything like that. He is spending time with the in-laws. We're getting ready to move, and where we're moving, it's very difficult to have pets. And so we decided that rather than go through the process of trying to get a pet approved and like all the vaccination and records we would have to generate, um, we are just going to leave him with family because they have a larger property where he will be happier. So I am petless for now. Thank you for asking about him. He is doing well. It's kind of funny. We originally thought... Hold on, let me adjust this volume real quick. You can be quieter. Thank you. There we go. We originally thought that he was full grown when we got him because he was... we found him on the street. It turns out he wasn't full grown, and he got a little bit bigger, quite a bit bigger, and like really filled out. And then he's got a winter coat, so he's a much bigger, fluffier cat than than when we first got him. I miss him too. I'll be honest. I also miss him. That makes two of us. All right. Apparently we weren't getting enough thrust, so we're going from 4 to 7 engines. Then I'm out of options. That is actually not... We have enough tech points. I can go to the tech tree and unlock the next like class of rockets. I think the chemistry lover technology gives us the professional grade solid rocket boosters. And it also gives us the pressure-fed liquid rockets. But this guy is getting us off the ground, albeit slowly. So what I want to do is I'm going to use my gyros to go to gentle pitch. There we go. All right, we are exo-atmospheric at this point. And that was perfect. That was perfect. As long as we cover enough lateral distance. We might not cover enough lateral distance to get going sideways too. Yeah, we're not quite 500 kilometers away. But we will get wet rockets. We are absolutely on a trajectory to hit the ocean. So we've got one of the contracts down. And this was not an expensive rocket either. So all in all, not bad price. This is a budget. And we're in the water. Contract completed. It would be too expensive to recover the craft. That's fine. Destroy it. But we have 90 tech points. And that should be enough to give us the next couple of upgrades here. Let's take a look at the tech tree. Chemistry lover. Yep, that gives us the upgrades to our rockets. We're also going to do check your staging. And that leaves us 30 tech points. We could use them on parachutes, but I don't need parachutes right now. So I'm going to save them and see if we can get a higher class tech tree. Tech node? Tech node. All right, we still have going sideways. We could just do that one again. The splashdown mission, this one I think is easier to do as an airplane. Because you have to drop a payload in the water going very slowly, and it's a very small target. We could launch a rocket, but it would be difficult. If we just fly a plane, like if we fly our biplane all the way down to the Jundroo Space Center, we could do it there. I think that's going to be its own live stream though, because that's going to take some time. Let's just do going sideways. Yep, let's just focus on this one. So we'll make some upgrades to this rocket. We'll make it 2 stages. First stage will be a single larger solid rocket engine. The second stage will use either a pressure-fed engine or maybe just another solid rocket engine. So we'll get a little bit better performance. Oh, okay, no, disregard. This doesn't give us the larger engines. It just lets us use a larger rocket size. Okay. That's fine. We can reduce the number of rockets we're using at least. And that'll also probably give us a little bit better thrust. 5 larger engines versus the 7 smaller ones. We did get the staging, though. That is true. So here's what we're going to do. 1 meter. Copy this bottom engine here. Nozzle throat size down to 50%. And then add a inner stage. Does not need to be a big one. Rocket height 10.5 meters, too tall. Let's make this a little bit shorter. 10.1. 10 flat. 9.96. So we're under our height limit for the rocket now. And should launch. Village pad, we can only go to 10 meters. There's a box, a diameter, and a height that we can't exceed. And so meters the rocket is. So that does limit us a little bit in the size of the rockets and also how much we can take on a payload. But for now, for this mission, 10 meters should be more than enough. We'll immediately pitch over, and I'm going to do a little bit more aggressive maneuver here. Immediately lock prograde, and we'll switch to an orbital frame of reference, so the rocket's going to pitch more. Alright, that gets us out of the atmosphere. We're going to wait. Activate our second engine. Alright, now we're burning our second stage here. This guy is going to push out our apoapsis way out there. Hopefully. Or we're screwed. One thing I can do, let's pitch up a little bit. Let's pitch up a lot. There we go. I want to hold, I don't want to start descending quite yet. There we go. There we go. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Move that over there. I don't need you over here yet. Alright, that should be plenty. Engine has flamed out. We'll just lock it on prograde and let it cruise. We've definitely exceeded our 500 kilometers. And looks like we are on a trajectory to hit the water again. So even better. We'll let it time accelerate down to the ground. I don't think we're actually going to hit the water, though. Yeah, our collision point is going to move in. I think we're going to hit the coast. Or I'm totally wrong, and we won't hit anything. Explosive heat damage? You're gonna be kidding me. That, I feel like that wasn't as bad. That wasn't even that bad, though. Alright, well, I'm not doing I'm not going to undo any failed missions. If I fail a mission, I'm going to lose that money, so I need to be very careful. I don't have heat shields. Do I need to do a more vertical flight? I'm not going to use the drogue chute. I'm not going to use the drogue chute for this. That doesn't make any sense. Why would I use a drogue chute for this? New challenge. How do I get around this? Maybe I just changed my flight trajectory. So I was coming in really flat. If I come up a little bit more, do a lot more vertical trajectory, then I'll pass down into the atmosphere faster and I'll slow down faster. And that actually should cause less damage. I don't think changing the design is going to do anything. Um, And each of these flights cost me $22,000 to do. So I don't want to goof this up too many times here. Here's what we'll do. We'll take an earlier, more flat trajectory. And we'll start burning earlier, and I'm going to hold this higher pitch to try and go up a little bit more and have a steeper reentry. That's the goal. Steeper reentry. I think that's what we need to make this work. We'll see our apoapsis. Like, this is going to get pushed out pretty far regardless. Even push this farther up. That actually pushes our vert or horizontal distance gets pushed out a lot by doing that too. And then one more thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come flat into the atmosphere. We've already traveled the required distance. A more oblique approach should slow me down faster. Yep. I took 0.3 damage and then it stopped. So I slowed down fast enough there that it didn't cause any long-term damage. Now I'll touch the ground. We can let the rocket go ahead and point forward into prograde. Actually, yeah. One thing we can do with this that's kind of interesting is because of lifting bodies, I can actually kind of direct like aim basically like a skydiver now. The gyroscopes have more than enough power to keep me on a trajectory. Yeah, there we go. So you can actually see our I'm actually moving the velocity node a little bit. Yep, we'll destroy the craft. It's not worth the 14,000 to try and go and get it. Not even close. Going high. That's easy. We'll do that. Sure. So I'm pretty sure this next mission, and I think this will be our last mission for the night because it's getting a little late. But this next mission requires us to use a payload, yes. So the payload is right there. I don't need any of this extra junk. We can get rid of all of that. All I need is the payload itself. It's only 10 it's only 10 centimeters wide, which is kind of silly. This is going to be way smaller rocket. Way, way, way smaller. Move it up a little bit. There we go. Boom1234, hello, welcome back. It's good to see you again. Yes, it has been a while. Where have I been? Yeah, Ami Run, you have it absolutely right. So I am my day job is on a submarine. And so I have been on a submarine for the past year, basically. Not all in one go, but we had several underways. The longest one was 6 months. And then a couple month long. So I've gone pretty much all. I spent very little of this year on land. Yep. I did tell you it was in the Discord. Amaranth's got it 100% correct again. I'd posted it in the Discord a couple of times saying that I'd be, taking a hiatus or not as active. But I'm back now, and aside from just busyness at work, I'm not going out to sea very much. So people thought I was hacked. I mean, I can see that, I guess. No, not hacked, just inactive. And I don't know. This guy does not have enough fuel. Shoot. All right. We're not gonna make it. End flight. Save and exit. That rocket is not going to make it to 80 kilometers. We did not have enough fuel, even close. We're gonna try this again. We're gonna make a little tweak here. I'm gonna make this that much thicker. That alone should be enough of a difference. We'll also make taller for good measure. I just need a little bit more to get me up there. So increasing the diameter will definitely give us a lot more fuel, and then also increasing the length gives us a little bit extra volume for our fuel tank. Large rocket's going to go higher. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. All right. Time warp, throttle up. Not even going to aim. We're just going to go straight up. Maybe I should have aimed, though, just to keep it on a straight trajectory. All right, that, what's our apoapsis? Oh, 90 kilometers. Perfect. That is just high enough. All right, 90, we're going to hit 90 kilometers here in a second. There we go. And we deploy the fairing, expose the probe. Not going to recover the craft. It's going to break. That's fine. And let's look ahead at what our next contracts want to be. Valley Air Race Round 2. We could do these air races. That's not terribly difficult. Shockingly fast, we could absolutely do. So, yeah, I think the next live stream we're going to do these contracts right here. We'll do Splashdown, because that's going to give us access to the Jundroo DSC Bay. And it's also a $500,000 contract, so that's pretty nice. And we have a vehicle that will work. I also want to do the Valley Air Race again. So we'll do those on the next live stream. Not this live stream, it's getting a little late. But hey, thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the show. I certainly enjoyed putting it on. And, I definitely love you guys for coming out and watching me. If you liked it, leave a comment and like this live stream. Share it with others. Help it get around, spread the channel. I am back, and I am going to be pretty aggressively trying to make new content because it's what I enjoy doing. So thank you guys so much. I know, Boom, you just arrived, but you can watch the replay of the live stream. Don't worry. All of the live streams get saved to my channel. You can watch them later in the streams playlist. So thank you guys again for watching. I hope you all have a great night, a great weekend, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.